Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the CollingsThodeNetwork as we are live today on the 22nd. As today in sports, we got the King of Queens, we got Red Hot Wings, we got Scotty Barnes, and we got trade season officially here. It's going to be a fun day. We're talking Leafs, we're talking Raptors, and we'll start it off with a little bit of Raptor talk as of yesterday. We're the King of Queens, as to quote Shaquille O'Neal. We went into town, we went to Sacramento. That's not exactly his quote. And we took care of the Queens, the Sacramento Queens. We have made them as, hey, we were down in halftime, but that was never in doubt for me. That game against the Kings, I felt pretty confident most of the way. And I mean, I will say day 2 of our long road stretch, 2 out of 4 of our road games now played, and that was pretty good. Of course, we faced off against the Warriors 2 nights ago, big win against the Warriors, and then it was Los Angeles that we started this road trip against and lost big to LA. That's the Lakers, not the Clippers. Clippers are garbage. I'd love to face them again soon. Anyways, the Clippers beat us last time we faced them. That's why I have some ill will, harboring some bad feelings towards them for that game. But no, the Toronto Raptors would win 122-109 against the Sacramento Kings. In the first half, we would be losing 61-52, but the the third quarter was just incredible. We would win the third quarter 53-21, and a big reason for that, Scotty Barnes. 14 points in the third alone, and then Jamal Shed. He decided it was time to get shooting. He would shoot 5 times in the quarter, and that's got to be up there for a season high for Jamal Shed, a guy who we all know is not much of a shooter, much more of a passer. He scored 10 points in the third quarter. I mean, if we could get him doing that regularly, I mean, not per quarter, obviously, but regularly shooting like that and making his shots, sky's the limit for Jamal Shed. And the second half would so much so be the Toronto Raptors. We would win the second half 70-48, as that is why we would take this game by so much. Spotlights for me on the game. Grady Dick off the bench, 11 points on 5 of 12 shooting. He has the green light. He's playing with more confidence. We like to see it. He was a negative 12 in this game. One of the few Raptors that was actually a negative. But the box score is useless. Box score schmock schmore. Anyways, my other key performers, Scotty Barnes, we'll get into him later. Emmanuel Quickly, another amazing game. He had 18 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. And for the Toronto Raptors, that was a season high in team assists, as everyone was dishing the rock today. 7 assists for Scotty Barnes, 8 assists for Emmanuel Quickly, 6 assists for Jamal Shed, 4 assists for Brandon Ingram, and for Sandro Mamu. I'm not going to say his full last name. Great game for these Raptors. Jamal Shed and Emmanuel Quickly starting together works, and I'm loving it. The 2 point guard lineups, as RJ Barrett is projected to come back soon. That's the most recent thing that I've been reading is he should be back again. Again, full-time action for this guy. Who knows? He makes me nervous just with how this knee sprain has been lingering, how long it has been. It's one of those things I can't not think about. So we'll see, but until then, I love having Jamal Shed in the starting lineup, playing 30 minutes a game. One of my favorite players, as anyone who knows me knows. And, of course, going into his game log for this season. I just want to see how many games in a row now, because he's played 7 games where he's put up over 30 minutes. And this is going back, the last 7 games. As before this, he had put up 1 game, so now 6 games here of 30 minutes played, and in every single one of those, he has been such a contributor to this team. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Let's make Jamal Shed the starting point guard. I think he's ready. I know he's year 2 for a guy that we drafted in the second round, but he was a winner when he played in Houston. That was a team that went to the Final Four, if I'm not mistaken, in the bracket, in the March Madness bracket. Shout out Jalen McDaniels, one of the two McDaniels, the bad one, because he was part of that trade with the Kings that we got him. So I think he's ready personally, but I'm definitely a Jamal Shed guy through and through. But on the season, he's averaging 7.3 points with 5.6 assists. Shooting, not great, only 36% from the field, 33% from three. He's just a guy that doesn't shoot a lot. He only shoots 6.7 times per game. And so, do I want to see him shoot more? Of course. Do I want to see Jamal Shed's season really take over? Yes. As a Raptors fan who watched Kyle Lowry growing up, he was like the only point guard I really knew on this team. So, yeah, I of course want to see Shed shine because he reminds me so much so of the point guard of my childhood. So we're all in on Jamal Shed. We're going to hope that, RJ Barrett, you can take your time. And even when RJ Barrett comes back, let's trade Emmanuel quickly. And there's no need to bring in a guard. We're good. We got Shed. So that's all I really have to say about this game against the Kings. Of course, the typical Raptors you would think would be good. Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, both scoring 23 points. Both of them grabbing rebounds, both of them getting assists. This was such a good team effort. Sandro with 22 and 9. Great game for our, this game starting big man, but, sometimes starting big man. And so that's going to do it for the Raptors game against the Kings. Great game. Looking at the bottom there, we got the Trail Blazers. That game is going to be not tonight. That's, I'm pretty sure, tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be played on the 23rd, Friday at 10 p.m. Another one of those late night games for us Eastern Conference folks. So we're a fan of that. We're a fan of the Trail Blazers game coming up next. They play hard, but I'm sure we could beat them. And then, of course, that Thunder game is, that's going to be tough. That's the real test. And then some games in the East coming up. I messed up on one of these games on the bottom. I think it's actually that game against Orlando. Yes, thought so. Let me just... we'll see. There you go. All right, graphic fix. So that's, again, lots of away games coming up. We're on a road trip right now out west. When we come back, we have one game against the Knicks at home, then right back to Orlando, and then right back home again to face the Jazz. It is a brutal schedule right now for our Toronto Raptors. So next, we're going to go on to talk about our very own Toronto Maple Leafs. As, we ended up facing off against some Red Hot Wings last night, and we just couldn't handle the heat, I don't think. A 2-1 overtime loss. I have all of the respect in the world for our current netminder. I'm pretty sure that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was Joseph Wall, making 39 saves in a losing effort. We're the Toronto Maple Leafs. I've come to know this team as the team that outscores their opponents and wins games 5-4 and 6-5. And, well, not this year. No siree. This year we got to struggle for every win. I was talking about how it felt better. I was a lot more optimistic, as this is game number 50 exactly. And before this, we lost to Minnesota 6-3. The less said about that, the better. But the game before that, a 4-3 win in overtime over the Jets. The game before that, a 6-5 loss to the Golden Knights. The game before that, a 6-1 loss. Game before that, a 4-3 win. Game before that, 5-0. The goals have been coming. These one-goal games have been incredibly rare. And since the month has started, since the new year has started, we've only had 3 games of under 3 goals. Every other game, which is, if I know how to count here, because my math skills have been failing me lately, my brain isn't turning on. That's 8 games. 8 games of scoring 3 or more goals versus 3 since the start of the new year. And, last night was one of those games. John Gibson, I guess, he's the real deal now that he is no longer playing for Anaheim. I don't know. This is a tough game. Again, the Red Wings, so good for some reason. I don't get it. Why are they good this year? Why are they good and we're not? I look at their team. Actually, one thing I'm noticing that's really big, that's probably why they're starting to do a lot better than last season, is they don't play Justin Holl anymore. They got rid of him. How smart is that for them? What a brilliant move. They also have, Leaf legend James Van Riemsdyk on their team as it would be Simon Edvinsson, who scored in regulation, and then Dylan Larkin, who scored the OT winner against us. Our only goal of the night coming from Scott Lawton, who, shout out to Scott Lawton. What a beauty for the Toronto Maple Leafs he's been. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. It's just not one of those games to write home about. The penalties, Easton Cowan, Calle Yarncrook both taking a penalty. This was one of those times, at least looking at the highlights after the fact, that Easton Cowan, invisible. He didn't appear on the highlight tapes kind of at all. Same with a lot of the bottom six forwards. This was just not one of those games to write home about. But hey, Jake McCabe and Troy Stetcher playing the most amount of shifts in the game. That's another thing too. It's like, sure, Troy Stetcher plays with a lot of heart, but let's pump the brakes on getting him re-signed long term. Like, I saw that on Twitter a little bit. Losing a game like this 2-1 where we're giving up 41 shots, I don't know. Part of me, call me crazy for thinking our defense is still just incomplete, completely incomplete. And whether that's Tanev being injured, and Lord knows when he'll come back, I don't know what fixes it really. But yeah, we ran into some red hot Wings, and looking around at the NHL standings and what this means, again, 50 games in, we are at game 50. We are getting really close to the trade deadline and the Olympic break. So every game matters all that much more. The Red Wings are sitting at 66 points. That was my phone. In 51 games, they have 66 points. 31 wins, 16 losses, 4 overtime losses. The Lightning have 48 games played and 66 points, as they have 31 wins, 4 overtime losses, and 3 less regulation losses. So really good stuff so far from Tampa this year. Same old, same old. Really good stuff from Detroit. Losing that game, again, being at 59 points after that win for game 50, would have put us in the playoffs, at least. Yeah, it would have put us in the playoffs. We would have either been second or first in the wild card. It would have been us and Buffalo, tied at 59 points. But instead now it is Buffalo and Boston in the wild card right now. I hate Boston Bruins so much. I hate them. Why are they better than us? This was meant to... I can't let myself get into this. When we miss the playoffs, I'll properly crash out, or at least when I know we're going to miss the playoffs, because losing Marner should not have been this catastrophic standings wise. Not in the slightest, but here we are. Annoys me. But you know what doesn't annoy me? Scotty Barnes, who we'll talk about now. I love Scotty Barnes so much. He is very, very, very quickly becoming my favorite NBA player. I love the big men of the world in basketball. I love a good center. Derek Queen coming into the league, being that new age Boris Diaw type center. I love it. I've always been a fan. Victor Wembanyama is my favorite player in the league. So Jamal Shed being up there in my top 3 players is a little rare, but who doesn't love a nice hard-nosed guard? But Scotty Barnes is so much fun to watch. Every highlight he has is fun. The smarter he's getting with his game, it's so much fun. He's making turnaround jumpers. He's making middies. He's making threes. He doesn't take bad running hook shots anymore. So nice. It is So nice. I still think that he is severely undervoted for in the All-Star race here. As again, looking at the voting results from the Eastern Conference, we're really letting Michael Porter Jr. get more votes than Scotty Barnes. We're really letting Jalen Johnson, who, yes, had an incredible first half, but has seemingly forgotten how to play basketball. We're really letting these guys get more votes. Jalen Johnson is at 800,000. How is Scotty Barnes, with all of Canada behind him, only at 434,000 votes from the fans? We are failing this guy. We really are. Yes, he is most likely not going to be an all-star, but he might just be squeaking in, which I think is a travesty. Absolute travesty. The fact that he is not a bona fide, surefire all-star. The fact that he only has about 100,000 more votes than Josh Hart. Yeah, come on now. It's funny looking at the list of the voting, though, because in a row you have Raptors, just all of the Raptors, former and current. It goes Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, and then Norman Powell, all in a row. All in a row. All above Joel Embiid. How you like that? We should... I will forever say that Scotty Barnes, most underrated player in the league right now, and he deserves to be in this spot. And, I mean, just looking at Scotty Barnes' most recent stretch of games, so good. Let me properly pull this up here. A guy that was born 2001. How fun is that? He's only 2 years younger than me. And, yeah, in his last stretch of games, incredible. Of course, that game against Indiana where he had 26, 13, and 7. A game against the Clippers that we lost. But he had 24, 7, and 6. He had 22, 9, and 3, 26, 7, and 11, 23. I could go on. I will. 23, 8, and 7. And add on 4 steals with that, as this guy is, I'm not sure if he's leading the league in stocks, which is steals plus blocks. But I would be shocked if he wasn't. No, Victor Wembanyama. He's leading with per game, although I'm getting off that. I went to StatMuse first. We don't like StatMuse. I find it's wrong almost all the time. So leading the league in steals right now is Kassan Wallace, but our boy Scotty Barnes. All right, I'm getting ads on the official NBA website. Are they that broke? Scotty Barnes is 29th in the league for steals per game. Where is the number for that? There it is. So 29th in the league for steals per game at 1.5, and then he averages 1.3 blocks per game for a combined 2.7 stocks a game. I wish it was easier to find stocks and not just steals and blocks, but oh well. That's easily one of the most valuable players in the league. And the fact that he's not like penciled in to be an all-star, crazy to me. It's a long season. These are the types of things that you gotta let yourself get upset about because there's not much else going on right now. As of course we're about to enter the Olympic break, then we really don't have a lot going on. I guess we're gonna do all things Canada coming up soon. But I guess we will hop into our next and final topic of today before we close it off, which is the fact that it is officially trade season. One of the best times of year. We talked about it before with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't know what to do, but some reporters have ideas. We're seeing here NHLRumors.com, the Toronto Maple Leafs have found their way in as the Toronto Maple Leafs are prioritizing a right-handed D-man, but lack the assets may need to lead them to the bargain bin. Which, not surprised, just it's not really what this team needs. We don't need to go bargain bin hunting. We need a top guy, but we can't bring in a top guy. It kills me. So a right-handed D, just looking for any names. It doesn't look like any names are mentioned here, at least on NHLrumors.com. Continuing to scroll around, seeing Maple Leaf emerging in rumors here as more trade markets. Mason Marchment is on the trade markets, the former Leaf that no one wants. Looking around as well, I saw other... this is what I was looking for. And the guy most likely to be traded this season, Anthony Stolarz. 3 potential destinations for Stoley the goalie look to be Ottawa, Florida, and St. Louis. Now that's where we recoup assets. That's where we move off Stolarz and another one of your contracts and bring in a genuine bona fide defender to help this team out. I saw some other names that were on the block on NHLTradeTalk.com. 4 names linked to the Toronto Maple Leafs in rumors. Of course, you got Nazem Kadri, who we talked about extensively before. You also got Brandon Montour, Luke Schenn, and Dougie Hamilton. I would love any of those defensemen, but again, and where I'm going to end it, how? We can't bring them in. We just can't. There's no way for this Leaf team to make trades. I just don't see it. If you have trades that you have in mind for this Leafs team, drop it in the comments. I'm all ears. I would love to hear. Now the Toronto Raptors, that's a team that we definitely can make some trades, as this is going to be GM Bobby Webster's first time at the helm as the proper general manager, taking over that Masai Ujiri role. 4 hours ago, Sports Illustrated reported that Emmanuel Quickley is being looked at by the Washington Wizards. Who I would love that. I would absolutely love to see him gone. See ya. I don't really. They're saying that. Who are they saying we bring in? They're saying that they move someone like Chris Middleton, who makes $33.3 million on his player option, over to Toronto. As what that does for us, it gives us cap space further on, and then he's just another body. Really no aims on keeping him. But that's what Sports Illustrated's talking about. Of course, I saw a rumor that the Sacramento Kings and the Raptors were in talks about Domantas Sabonis and Keon Ellis. Now, if you don't know, Domantas Sabonis, one of my favorite players in the league. I love big men. I love big men that can pass. He is a guy that's good back in the day, or when he's not injured. I shouldn't say back in the day. Just when healthy, this is a guy that's good for 20, 10, and 10. He's a baby Jokic who just can't really shoot as well as Jokic. I love Sabonis. He does not give us any defensive upside, but offensively, we'd be unstoppable. We're also seeing here Raptors Republic is saying that Karl Anthony Towns, now is the chance for us to trade for him. No, thank you. That's just a worse Domantas Sabonis, if you ask me. I think Karl Anthony Towns is worse at defense and is more of a black hole on offense than a guy like Sabonis. I would rather not. Rewind, Keon Ellis. I threw that name in there. Many people might not know who he is. I adore Keon Ellis' game. He can't shoot at all, and that's why he's bad. He can't really play in the playoffs. But in the regular season, this is one of the best defensive guards in the entire league. I would love to see him come into town. New York Times even has a article here about the Raptors. Shout out Eric Corrine saying Giannis, Trigger Trey Murphy, Domantas Sabonis. He's assessing our Raptors fake trades. And those are kind of the big names here. For any of my Raptors fans watching at home, who should we get? Giannis, obvious. That's number 1. Number 2, Sabonis. Sabonis is officially my number 2, just because that would be the most fun. Number 3, Trey Murphy. Plays for the Pelicans, puts up 20 points a game, is a terrific outside shooter, and one of the best wing defenders in the game. He is Scotty Barnes, but less dominant. I would love to bring him in. He fits the blueprint. And just our defense gets so good. Of course, that doesn't solve the starting center issue. I don't think it's going to get solved. Raptors Nation, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're not trading for a center this year. Let's just come to facts. Let's face the facts as they are. It's too difficult to bring in a starting center, a star center, in nowadays NBA. We're just going to have to roll with Pirtle when he's healthy and Mamu for now. So that's going to do it for today's episode. Went a little longer than I was hoping to. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Regardless, as that's going to do it for me, Curtis Collings, here on the CollingsThodeNetwork. Make sure you subscribe. Ring that bell icon down below so you don't miss any of the uploads. Until tomorrow, peace out.